Okay, to buttress on the Bruno is not needed in my team right now a bit. Um, I've been thinking about it lately, and after looking at Ferguson's formation over the last course of his managerial career, we were playing two midfielders and two wingers and two strikers. Those two midfielders were creative as much as they were defensive in Carrick and Scholes. And we also had, there was a time he played O'Shea and Carrick, Fletcher and Carrick, sometimes Scholes, depending on who was available at any point in time. But the thing is, our attack was not dependent. Our chances at creating goals were not dependent on the midfielders alone. Everybody from the midfield to the wingers to the attack, they were all contributing to making sure that goals were flowing and just going in. And I think that's the situation we have at Man U right now. Looking at Ruben Amorim's formation, he needs two midfielders that can attack and that can defend, but we do not have that. We don't have two central midfielders that can do the job. Let's say we play Casemiro and Ugarte. Ugarte can run everywhere, and then Casemiro has a bit of creativity in him. He comes out every now and often, so we can just make use of that. Now, the two wing backs would be Ahmad Odalo and Dogo and Leon. But we've seen over the course of last season that those two wings are not functioning. We need those people to be very creative, running the flanks and very creative, not just at scoring goals, but as also creating goals. In Man U, then we had Giggs, who was very creative. His crosses, his passes, his vision, Max. We had Nani, who could dribble anybody and put in that nice cross. We had Evra, who would overlap and square play, and all those things will work. We had Gary Neville, whose cross was inch perfect. But now our wing backs are not functioning. I think Ahmad can create, but he doesn't know how to cross the ball. He can try as much as create goals for the striker, but he can't cross the ball. He should work on that. Dogu can push the attack as long as he can. He can do that all day, but his final balls are way lacking. And that's where we have a problem. Those two wings are not functioning. Then we have two midfielders that are taxed with going forward at all points. I think he's not going to work properly. Now we now have two tens and a striker. The striker automatically has to come back, like I said in my last video. He has to come back and make way for the two midfielders to function, or the two tens rather, to function, or he has to stay there and poach for the goal. But it's not always going to be like that because we've seen over the course of the past 5 seasons that our attackers don't get the service they require, except when Ronaldo came in which he wanted all the service. But our attackers in Man U, for a long while, our number nines have not gotten service in every chance they get a goal. And that's a problem that needs to be addressed. So I think moving forward, I think Ruben Amorim has to switch in between 3-4-2-1 and 3-4-1-2. And the 3-4-1-2 is to accommodate Bruno. Bruno is lesser when he's playing behind the strikers, when he's playing behind any striker or the forwards. Now, let's say we have the wingers, the wing backs in quotes, Ahmad and Dogo, Dalo and Dalo and Leon, whoever is playing there. Let's say we have them to form the four brick in midfield, the three defenders, and then we have Bruno situated in front of them, and then they have Imbuemo and Konha in front of Bruno. I think we are going to flourish. Or even if we can have Zegzi and Hoylund to play there, all is for our own benefit. But the important thing is that for Bruno to function effectively, he has to play behind the strikers, and there is no space if you are using 3-4-2-1. He's not going to be able to do the hard work that is required. So it's better we just do 3-4-1-2, or we switch to a 4-4-3-3 formation that's going to accommodate Bruno. So in essence, we still need two central midfielders who are capable of moving the ball forward, who are press resistant, and who can create at every point, every chance they get. And you are lacking. You only have Ugarte. Ugarte is more defensive minded than attacking minded. So except you are pairing him with Casemiro, it's not going to work. We have Collier, but he's not that creative. I think Kolia is one to just run around and just cause havoc everywhere. But it's more or less playing Ugarte and Kolia too defensive that is just going to cause and disturb the opponent's play. But that being said, I think Amorim is going to figure it out. I still think Man U need two midfielders that are good, and we need wing backs that are creative. But then you teach the ones we have to be creative. If not, I mean, we are signing up for a season of just pain and shouting and analysis and thinking and high BP. But until the season starts, I hope it's figured out. I hope the transfer market is still open, and I hope we get some more players injected in midfield and in wing backs. We don't need a striker. We need midfielders and we need wing backs that are creative. So for now, I'm Wilfred, and please like, share, follow. God bless.